We're going to talk about my next item. Let me just get my cards back shuffled the right way. This is from Delight Patisserie. And I will tell you, I'm brand new. First time to the show. I am so excited to try these. These are their Valentine's, what we're calling their Valentine's message cookies. Everybody will get a big box of these. There's 16 of the cookies inside. They're packed in groups of 4, and each one of these cookies has their own little love message. Remember the candy hearts when we were kids? These have little love messages. What a beautiful little gift. Look, be mine. You are tea-rific, because you can use these with tea. We've got I love you or heart you to the moon and back. And then, what's the last one say? I'll crumble for you. I'll crumble for. All right. Deborah Murray is joining me, who is, I've known Deb for probably since I've been here.
Yeah.
We go back at least 20, 25 years.
Exactly.
Deb is an all things expert in the kitchen, and I know one thing. I watch all your stuff on the internet. I love all your recipes, all that stuff.
Thank you.
And she knows quality. And I have yet to try these. I said I'm going to wait till we get on air because I heard they're amazing. These are a shortbread cookie, correct?
These are a shortbread cookie.
Okay.
The owner of the company, Celine, her lifelong passion is pastry. She went to Paris, went and studied in one of the greatest culinary schools for pastry. There she is. She's so beautiful. So she got her degree in pastry. Moved to LA to live the American dream, and she created these beautiful little cookies. They are the exact same recipe that you would have in the finest restaurants in Paris.
Like butter.
They call them Paris tea biscuits, but it's just shortbread. It's just butter, sugar, vanilla. But then she has them hand-stamped, so each one has a little love message on it. So it's like having a little edible love note. You know, instead of giving this for Valentine's Day, what says love more than butter, sugar, vanilla? I mean, isn't that beautiful? How about your aftertaste on it? And I do want to correct you, because most people don't realize, even though there's 4 compartments, they come in packages of 2.
Oh, okay.
So you can get
that was
8.
confusing on the card, because I was like, that math doesn't add up.
Precisely.
So there's 8 packages of 2.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So now, like, I could put these in my grandchild's lunchbox. I could put this in your little packet. I was handing them out in the hall. Pat Wall, I gave him one. I'd crumble for him, Lou. I mean, they're just so beautiful. They're so delicious. They're made with the finest quality ingredients. If you love shortbread, you're going to love these. But the message just, it'll make your heart just feel so good inside.
I've never seen message cookies.
I never have. This is her business. This is her. I mean, they sell them in the finest stores, the gourmet stores.
They're very high end.
This set is absolutely exclusive to here to get the 4 messages on there. You might have seen her on the Good Morning shows or on The View. I mean, she's just delicious. And
I've said this forever, is that people make all kinds of cookies at home, but you rarely see people making their own shortbread.
Precisely.
It's hard to make.
Precisely.
And it's hard to get it right. But that's why you saw these people who make these are people that have gone to culinary school, all right?
Precisely.
It's almost like people that are bread makers. You really got to know what you're doing.
To get the fine layers
to get that,
in there.
and to get that crisp, because you know the way they laminate the dough and they add all the butter and all that great stuff inside. I love a shortbread cookie because a shortbread cookie is something you can almost breathe in.
Precisely.
You know when you put it in your mouth and that butter kind of comes up through your nose, and I love the texture of shortbread because it's crisp, but then it just dissolves.
Dissolves. You can feel the butter, the layers. I mean, it's just so beautiful. And again, things like this you could, like have you ever gone to Paris?
Yes.
I adore Paris. And my favorite thing to do in Paris is
if I could speak the language a little bit better. I've gotten okay with it.
With Google Translator, you're okay. But what I love is just to go into a little cafe, you order a coffee, and they give you these tea biscuits there with your coffee. So instead of spending all that money to get on a plane to go to Paris, take my word for it, you're not going to get a tea biscuit that is any more authentic. And look at the boxing on this. The packaging is spectacular.
Yeah.
I love that she has
French.
she's got the lavender, the flowers, and yet where she is in LA, that bright yellow that just screams happy. The presentation on it is spectacular. Whether you're giving it all to one or you're going 8 different presents out of it, you are going to leave a mark in someone's heart because it's going to be an experience.
You may have more than one Valentine.
You might.
You never know. But what's nice about these is that, like I said, they're individually wrapped.
Exactly.
They're going to stay fresh.
8 weeks. They
Yeah,
say.
for a couple of months.
How
you're
long
gonna
is
have
your
these.
flowers going to last?
I was going to say I don't get flowers that much anymore, but I do give some to my mom. So mom loves it. But you get them, they're good for 3-4 days. That's
exactly.
it. And then they become sad. These are just amazing. And I like that we've got the display by here. By the way, I think that was that a cinnamon little flavor on that?
On the red heart, yes.
Yeah, that's
Isn't
a little,
amazing,
that's
the
a little bit of a
detail that
cinnamon
goes
flavor.
into it.
And I also love that the quality. You know how I can tell the quality too, besides the flavor of them? The printing.
Yes.
Look at how
They're
easy, if you guys
hand-stamped.
come in close, look at how perfectly stamped they are. And you can really read it.
You can really
like even
read
on the
it.
little hearts,
Yep.
sometimes you can't read it because it's off center or whatever it is.
Precisely. And
That's
again,
brilliant.
those will break your teeth. They're not
Yeah.
delicious. This is a culinary
pure
experience.
sugar.
I mean, she is a world-renowned pastry chef, going to one of the finest schools in Paris, going to California to live her dream. These are made in LA. They will not be made until you place your order. So they're made to order and then hand stamped. Again, all quality ingredients, just eggs, sugar, flour, butter. You know, you can read them, you can pronounce them. I can even say them in French.
I know.
But they are beautiful. And again, you're giving something to somebody that they're not traditionally getting on Valentine's Day. A lot of times we get chocolate, we get flowers, but to be able to get a real traditional patisserie tea biscuit that melts in your mouth with all those layers.
It's a treat.
It is such a treat.
Yeah.
And again, go ahead. You don't have to give them all at one time. Like, I'm going to give this to you. I love you to the moon and back.
Nice.
It matches your vest.
That was
How
nice
does that
like
make you
that.
feel? Makes you feel good. Makes you feel loved.
And that's
now it's
the
going
thing.
to taste good.
Right, because normally you don't think about giving cookies to somebody for Valentine's. This is so it's not the same old thing.
Exactly.
The flowers or this, or I'll get you a gift card.
It's a new tradition.
This is a really beautiful thing, and boy, if you love your tea or you love your coffee, and by the way, I think, Pat, we have written into our show our coffee, we'll talk about that later. Yeah, I'll bring that up a little bit later, but if you want to, might even be able to put that on the screen so you can get our 100 pods of coffee to go with it. These are wonderful with coffee, with tea, hot chocolate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as a caterer, I do a lot of tea parties. I'm ordering a lot of these just to have at tea parties because
perfect bite.
Oh, perfect bite.
Yeah,
but
one is enough for one person. So the thing about shortbread is, and I would tell you that there's my Two Rivers 100 count. Steal those away, $42.95. You get 100 pods, and you can mix and match them with the cookies. But like I said, I love the size is perfect because it's just enough. But remember, these are shortbread. You don't sit down to shortbread like you do with chocolate chip cookies and eat 6 of them. Shortbread is very rich, and if it's made well, it's like no other cookie. Remember, we used to call them, my grandmas would make them in a circle and call them butterballs.
Right.
And they would sometimes put almonds and things like that in them because you put them in your mouth and they just disappear. These have that little crisp texture, perfect for dunking. And everybody's gonna get, everybody gets 16 of them. And they have the beautiful messages, Deb.
And they'll last and last, and they'll melt your lover's heart. They'll feel so good. I mean, you're giving something that tastes good, that feels good. And again, it'll last a long time, and it's an impressionable gift because it's not something that everybody always has.
Deb, let's step over because we also have single-themed biscuits, and if you just want to go over and show those to everybody. So if you want to get a box and you like just one of the phrases, we have them in, I believe the first one is that, which was the first
I'll
one?
crumble for you. That's the one that I gave Lou in the hall.
So you'll get all the same.
Be mine. This would be the perfect one to share, like with your kids. Have it as a candygram instead of a candygram, a cookiegram for at school. You'll get